Only 2 more hours left for E3. And, well, it's time for Wes Phillips, our good buddy, coming on. We see you all the time. It's always great having you by. We constantly are playing Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom versus each other, and, well, now you brought Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It's time, I think, actually, for some Sony Cross Capcom.
Yeah, a little Sony Cross Capcom, because I know that Sid is a little bit of a Tekken enthusiast. So him and I have been, back and forth before. I beat him in Street Fighter. Oh, but if this was Tekken, you would not win.
I don't know what to say to that other than to silently pick King and Hwoarang and destroy you.
Well, whatever you do, don't pick Bob or Saget, because Bob Saget is my team right now. So.
I can live with that.
All right.
All right, so we're just going to play through a couple of rounds here.
Yeah,
we're taking your questions on Twitter, and the ground rules are Wes can't beat us. That's pretty much the way we expect.
The opposite of what's going to happen here.
All right. So you're a stick player. You want to tell us a little bit about some of the moves here and the stick as well?
Sure. So I mean, it's a pretty basic setup for something like if you're familiar with Super Street Fighter 4, we have light, medium, hard punch, light, medium, hard kick. But for Street Fighter Cross Tekken, obviously it's not the same thing. So in place of where you may see a focus attack on a stick, here you would see a simple tag out motion, similar to like Tekken tag. On here we have a bit of a universal launcher. I'm going to show you real quick, and Sid's not going to hit back. So similarly, bring your next guy in like that. A little bit like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but I mean this game is so much more different than that game.
What button do you hit to do that?
To do with the
launcher, yeah.
So the launcher would be, for instance, it would be like your hard kick and hard punch simultaneously. Yeah, right there, you just saw that. He just blocked it, but that's sort of a basic launcher. If you want to do like a combo launcher, I could do something like, well, don't block Sid for now, just so I can show. So what you can do is you can mash like light, medium, hard, but the key is hitting the hard at the end of that combo. Well, okay. See, now it's
well, here is a good example of the close-in animations that we really started to see first in Street Fighter 4, where someone really charges up and does something close.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, part of the Street Fighter 4 team is working on this game, but we want to give its own DNA, its own flavor, and you can see that. So there's a lot of the same DNA. As a Street Fighter game, but we wanted to mix in, of course, Tekken. So if Sid, who is a Tekken player, wants to type in an input like kick, punch, they'll queue up just like Tekken players will. So the Tekken players, so instead of having to time it out like in Street Fighter, it's much more about like I have to hit the button now because it's timed out. Tekken has a system that queues up the move, so he can do that with King here. And if you want to just show the bam, so it'll execute. Now it's not the same for Sagat, because he's from the Street Fighter universe. But we wanted to give some of the Tekken fans some of what they love, and the Street Fighter fans some of what they love, and create this amalgamation of just awesome fightingness.
So based on my hands-on impressions already, there's a couple details as a major 15-year-old Tekken player.
You're only 15 years old.
I am only 15 years old. I've been playing Tekken for 15 years.
You have more facial hair than I.
That's correct. I noticed a couple details already. As soon as I get up, I tap forward. I can roll. I can do my quick recovery, just like in Tekken. See me roll forward like that. A lot of the moves are transferring over identically, with a little bit of different context. It's still Street Fighter, but it's very much Tekken meets Street Fighter, which is, judging by the name, what you might expect. It's actually a really interesting combination. So I'm able to use some of the same pop-up launcher type combos I would use in Tekken, but it's got that Street Fighter twist. So it's definitely a more juggle-heavy game, I would say, than Street Fighter.
So yeah, having those elements, like you're saying, queuing up the moves, the juggle stuff, obviously tagging has been much more of a hallmark of the Tekken series to this point. I mean, if we're talking within the context of Street Fighter, but we didn't want to just bring it all the way the other direction. We're not making a Tekken game. That's what they're going to do. So I mean, they're going to have a Tekken Cross Street Fighter that's going to come, down the line, and they can do that if they want. But here we wanted a little bit. I would say it leans more on the Street Fighter side of the DNA. But we want Tekken fans to be excited and to pick up this game and to sort of not only are we crossing these universes, we want to cross the competitive fan bases as well. So hopefully at a place like EVO we can see, the Tekken fans and the Street Fighter fans who traditionally have been separated, facing off one another, and it makes the whole celebratory attitude even larger.
I mean, in Japan, these are the two biggest fighting game series of all time, no doubt. It's two titans clashing in the arcades, clashing on home consoles. It's pretty interesting mix-up. I'll tell you, it's not something I thought I'd ever see in my lifetime. Now, what's interesting here, Jeff knows his Tekken. Jeff definitely knows his Street Fighter as well. He's more of a multiple disciplinarian.
Master of none.
I am definitely a Tekken guy. I love Street Fighter. I can definitely hold my own at Street Fighter. At the end of the day, though, I'm Tekken. So you can see right there, big pop-up focus. And it's interesting, too. Now, what I found interesting was that the Tekken flavor's there for the Tekken characters, but that Tekken flavor also crosses over a little bit to some of the Street Fighter characters. Would you agree, Wes?
Yeah, a little bit.
A bit.
Yeah. So we obviously have the tag mechanic, but there's certain things like certain characters have methods of sort of going through projectiles. So that was one of the biggest questions about this game originally was, there's no projectiles in the Tekken series. So how do you manage that? And obviously it's not in 3D space, so you can't move around something like that. So there's definitely moves within this game that are designed to sort of scoot through 2D space in a similar way that you would scoot through 3D space in order to account for that particular thing. But this game in general is not done. So every time we see a build of the game, there's a new element layered onto it. At E3, there's all sorts of little fun tricks and things that we're finding with the characters that we didn't see even a month ago. So it's a long road to go, and there's going to be even cooler stuff. I think the team is still even trying to figure out exactly what that balance is, what the mix-up of that sort of feature set. You're talking Tekken versus Street Fighter. How do we make this a Street Fighter game, but add enough so that Tekken fans are like, this is fantastic, and I want to be a part of that. So
let's talk about the artists and who did this. And was it the same team as Street Fighter 4?
So generally, most of the team here is the team that has worked on Street Fighter 4. So you will see, I mean, it's a bit of a different take on the art style. It's not exactly the same, as it's a little more colorful, maybe a little more exaggerated. Some of the stages, the multi-tiered stages, you would see, something you would see in Tekken, which is really cool. And they've done their own thing with that, So if we get to if you saw them jump down to the wall, we'll beat Jeff. I'm just going to beat him real quick, and then I'll be able to show more of that awesomeness. Also, the characters in this game, I sort of go away from the character art part of it. So each character in the game has a charge attack now. So I'll show this real quick to Jeff. If you see, I'm going to throw his fireball, but I'm going to hold the button down. If I keep holding it down, it'll build up, and then eventually he'll throw out an ultra combo. And that ultra combo, if you do a full charge like that, doesn't cost meters. So that's different for the Street Fighter series, and something that I think the team intentionally put in there to perhaps maybe draw in some more people that aren't as masters with pulling combos together. So if I just do that, hold it down, I can sort of release it whenever I want. Every character in the game has one particular move that does that. It varies, depending on the character.
I'm going to go ahead and add two things. First of all, Jeff's gamer face is amazing. He's so focused. He's like dead zone into beating Wes here.
I got to say, it feels a whole lot different than what I'm used to, and I never lose to Wes.
You look pretty intense,
I'm getting killed by it today.
Now I have to ask, talk about Vita. Is there any way that you can mention about Street Fighter Cross Tekken on Vita?
All right. I can talk a little bit about the Vita version, but so we have, obviously we showed it at your press conference the other day, the version of the PlayStation Vita. We're going to have Cole from Infamous in both the Vita version and the PlayStation 3 version of the game, exclusively, of course. Where else would he be?
He's in both versions?
Yeah, he's in both versions of the game.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
That's actually really cool.
We're actually going to have lots of cool interoperability between the Vita version and the PlayStation 3 version. We're not going quite into details yet about what that is, but expect that we're going to have a lot of cool functionality similar to maybe what you guys are doing with Wipeout. So just stay tuned, and you will see some awesomeness on that. But the Vita version, I've had a chance to get hands-on with it. It is awesome. It really is. It looks like the console version.
color me tantalized. On that note, we're getting some questions in on the Twitter feed.
Yeah,
I want to make sure we take care of our guys, answer as many of their questions as possible. I'm going to switch out here with James Gallagher from the EU blog. He's going to read off some tweets.
Let's do it.
And beat him.
Yeah, this is all about tag, so let's do it. Tag in Europe.
You kind of beat me to the first one. I mean, the first question was from A. Gagera, who asked if beta players can play against PS3 players.
I'm not going to confirm that yet.
Okay. You sort of touched on that, but here's a great question here. Which character have fans been most requesting?
I would say that, I mean, for this particular, this is the first time we've done this. I mean, you'll see, I would say the main characters from both series, because when you say, if you give a what-if battle, I don't want to see Dan versus,
why not? He's got great.
Well, I mean, if maybe in Street Fighter Cross Tekken 14, then you can get to the number 14th what if battle. But I could say that if you've had a what if between these two universes, most likely you're going to be really happy with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. We've only revealed 14 characters so far, but we have a ton more to reveal.
Cool.
Any more?
I'll keep an eye out. I'll bring Sid back in, but I'll keep an eye out. I'll poke him if anything really juicy comes up.
Very good. Thanks.
Can you talk about the PlayStation Vita's graphics? Are they similar? Is it different? Is it a different engine?
It's engine-wise. I don't know if I can answer that accurately, but
just make something up.
Yeah, no, yeah, totally. No, but as far as the way the game looks, to me, when I look at both games, I see, honestly, between the PS3 version and the Vita version, I see no difference. So, I haven't really looked for a difference, but at first glance, when I see it, I'm like, wow, this is like having a home console experience right in your hand. So,
and that's something Capcom's done for a long time. I mean, we've seen like Street Fighter Alpha on the PSP. They're really good at faithful ports of these games down to the portable.
Yeah,
level.
yeah. And if you see here, jumping down, doing the sort of the Tekken stage thing, you come on down the line.
So this was something that was talked about. Really, the folks at Namco Bandai, they let you guys this is all you, right?
Yeah. So our deal with Namco is really a handshake kind of deal. So they have no input on this. We are free to do with their characters as we wish, and the same is true the other way. So they're free to, when they make their Tekken Cross Street Fighter game, they're free to do whatever they want with our characters, and I think in the end that's just going to benefit the fans, because that's going to really allow everyone to sort of get that creator's ultimate vision of this particular mashup and franchises.
Do you know if Harada-san has seen this yet?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I mean Harada was over in our booth the other day signing on the stage with Ono-san. They're really good friends, and they both see one another's game, and I'm sure that they talk about it, and say, oh, that was cool or that wasn't cool. But I mean, there's no, we don't have to send the build to Namco's legal department to make sure that there's the right color red in the guy's costume or whatever. So so in that sense. For Street Fighter Cross Tekken, we've both been giving an enormous amount of freedom to do what we want, and like I said, that's just going to benefit the gamers in the end, really.
Well, so we've just been mopping the floor with you, clearly.
I know.
It's kind of, frankly, it's a little bit embarrassing for you.
Well, I did just win that match, so
good way to end it. It's a good way to end it.
When might we get to play this?
Yeah, so right now we're saying 2012. So there's really no specific date beyond that, but I would say that you'll get it sooner rather than later.
Let's hope the Mayans are wrong, because I want to play this.
Well, I mean, I think so. The world's not supposed to end until the end of 2012.
So we can confirm it is going to be before Christmas Day or December 26th,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it will be before the Mayan calendar claims that the world will end.
All right,
which is in like Christmas.
Yeah,
So
okay,
we're good.
Yeah.